How I Accidentally Choked Out America, aka The Birth of the UFC, by Royce Gracie, probably. Okay, let me take you back to the early 90s. Back when mullets were socially acceptable, VHS tapes were high-tech, and martial arts in the US were basically just dudes yelling, "Hi-ya!" while kicking boards in strip malls. Now, my family, the Gracies, had been doing this thing called Gracie Jiu-Jitsu for decades down in Brazil. We'd been politely folding people like lawn chairs since before disco died. There were rumors floating around about something called the Gracie Challenge, where we'd invite people from any martial art to come fight us. Think of it like a barbecue, except instead of burgers, we served up arm bars. But outside of Brazil, nobody really knew who we were. Americans had Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, and whatever Steven Seagal was pretending to be at the time. We had blurry VHS tapes, some suspicious cauliflower ears, and a dream to show the world what jiu-jitsu could do. So what did we do? We decided to invent the ultimate fighting championship. No weight classes, no time limits, barely any rules. Just no biting or eye gouging, because, we had to draw the line somewhere. It was supposed to be the closest thing to real combat without someone swinging a chair or yelling, "Finish him!" Now, logic said my brother Rickson should represent us. He was the family's Terminator, looked like a Greek god, and fought like a freight train. But instead, we chose me, Royce, 175 pounds soaking wet, with the fashion sense of a confused ninja. Why? Because the whole point was to prove that technique could beat brute strength. Also, I think Rickson was busy being a demigod in Brazil. Anyway, I walk into UFC 1 looking like the IT guy who got lost on the way to a Mortal Kombat audition. Across from me, sumo wrestlers, boxers, kickboxers, basically the cast of every bad 1980s action movie rolled into one tournament. People thought I'd get wrecked. I looked like I'd just wandered in to ask for directions. But guess what? They weren't ready for the hug and squeeze style. The moment the fight hit the ground, it was like people suddenly forgot how to fight. One guy tapped out because he thought I was going to rearrange his bones alphabetically. I didn't even throw a punch unless I absolutely had to. I just wrapped him up like a Christmas present and made them tap like they were sending Morse code. I won 3 fights in one night. Boom. UFC 1, Gracied. Then I came back and won UFC 2 and 4. I was basically the jiu-jitsu tooth fairy, except instead of giving out money, I collected limbs. People were stunned. Suddenly, everyone wanted to learn grappling. Karate schools started adding grappling classes taught by the janitor. Self-defense stopped meaning kick him in the shin and run, and started meaning close the distance, establish dominant position, and apply rear naked choke. We changed the game. Over time, the UFC evolved. Fighters stopped showing up in their dad's pajamas and started training in multiple styles. Jiu-jitsu, striking, wrestling, it all got mixed together. Hence, mixed martial arts. Now, everyone looks like a Spartan warrior and trains harder than I study restaurant menus. But the roots are jiu-jitsu, our jiu-jitsu, my family's little backyard science experiment that turned into the biggest combat sport on earth. I'm still rolling today. I may be older, but I still know more ways to choke a man with his own sleeve than you have in your sock drawer. So next time you hear someone say, "Size doesn't matter," just smile and remember. One skinny guy from Brazil made a room full of giants tap out, and he didn't even mess up his hair doing it.